How priceless is your love, O God. Today, throughout El Salvador, teams of the faithful begin a reckless, loving project. They sketch out intricate Christian images on asphalt streets and squares and filled in these outlines with pounds and pounds of colored salt. Over the course of Holy Week, these images, measuring 10 feet square and larger, will spread across the route taken by the Good Friday procession. Then, on that day, these expensive works of art will be trampled under thousands of penitential feet following on the way of the cross. Archbishop Oscar Romero's face often adorns more than one of these salt carpets in each city. What would this courageous fighter for justice, who was assassinated for his attempts to protect the oppressed poor, say about such a lavish investment of time, money, and human artistry that is destined to be scattered so callously? I suspect the Archbishop spent some time on his hands and knees filling in a few salt carpets himself. Mary's generous pouring of her pure nard, costing nearly a year's worth of daily labor, over the feet of Jesus must have struck Romero as it struck Mary's guests and as it strikes us today, as ridiculous, even reckless, as a reckless expression of love. But if God had any witnesses by the time our Maker created humans, they too may have thought that the project may have been a bit over the top. We are creatures born of a ridiculous love. And recognizing this, Christians respond by offering back to God all the love that we can muster, involving the most precious materials and utmost care that we can manage. But what about the poor? How do love and justice dance together? As Christians, we are called to lead with love, and justice will follow. Love is not sentimental show, not pretty words, not harried activism, but intentional movement into relationship with God and with one another. The choice is not between Jesus and the poor, worship and outreach, contemplation and action. The choice instead, but no, they're one and the same, root and fruit, food and journey, insight and sharing. The important thing to remember, cautions Jesus in today's reading, is that our first movement of love be toward God, and then we move into the world, transforming and healing and holding as we go. Lent is an extended season of rehearsed movement, first to God, then to neighbor. That is why yesterday's Palm Sunday service is so terrifyingly jarring. We glorify God's Messiah in palmed triumph, and then crucify Jesus, our neighbor, in crowded rejection. Today, Mary's loving action recklessly surpasses common sense. Such a range of human behavior confirms the sheer terror and beauty of Holy Week. It is inexorably into this holiest of weeks that we now move. Jesus claims that Mary has anointed his body for burial. He readies himself for the ridiculous, reckless offering to God of all that he is and all that he has. Can we too ready all that is precious and tender to us, all that constitutes who we are, and offer these gifts of love to God?